Well, it looks to be a good night if you're Joe Biden. If you're Bernie Sanders, you're hoping to pull off an upset. Hey, everyone, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you missed my show earlier today, I spoke with Texas Speaker of the House, Dennis Bonnen, on the radio show. His first interview since that whole controversy with Empower Texans. You can actually check that video out online at KFYO on YouTube and also KFYO.com. Tonight, it's Little Super Tuesday. Handful of states up for grabs. Of course, the big prize today is Michigan with, I believe, 125 pledged delegates up for grabs. According to 538.com, Joe Biden is expected to do pretty well tonight. Joe Biden expected to win, let's see, one, two, three, four states easily. He could do a sweep, actually. Bernie Sanders could pull off an upset maybe in Washington State, could pull off an upset in Idaho, but most likely Joe Biden is going to have a very good night. So what does that mean? Well, I visited with Matt Makoviak on my radio program Tuesday as well. And as Matt said, for Democrats, listen, Joe Biden, while he's uninspiring, while he lacks a vision, he will probably be a better candidate for the Democrats than what Bernie Sanders would have been. Now, I think that there's still a chance of a brokered convention. But it does appear as though quite easily Joe Biden will go into the Democrat convention, unless something weird happens, will go into the Democrat convention with enough delegates. The Democrats were never going to let Bernie Sanders run away with a nomination, and they were able to stop him and his movement. But his movement kind of lives on in a way, folks. And I want to remind you of this with Joe Biden. Even though people don't think of Joe Biden as a socialist like they think of Bernie Sanders, they really agree on a lot of the same issues. Now, they may disagree on how to get there, but they agree on what happens at the end of the day. They agree on the goal of those issues. Joe Biden, wants everyone in America to have health care. But he disagrees on the revolution part of it and Medicare for all immediately. Joe Biden wouldn't surprise me at all if he supports a Medicare for all over, years and years and years. Joe Biden raised his hand when they asked the question on the debate stage: should illegal immigrants get free health care? When it comes to free college, Joe Biden is all in favor of that. When it comes to being anti-Second Amendment, I know Joe Biden told a voter that he was full of shit in Michigan, but Joe Biden said that he would point what's his name, Beto O'Rourke, as the gun grabber, the guy who was going to be in charge of getting all the guns off the streets. And Beto O'Rourke has said, hell yes, we'll take your AR-15. So Joe Biden, while he's seems like at times a more moderate candidate or a centrist candidate, at the end of the day, he has many of the same goals as Bernie Sanders, but he's more dangerous because he's more well-liked. He can win the suburbs. He is viewed differently than crazy Bernie Sanders was viewed. So this is going to be a real threat going up against President Trump. I do think that President Trump will make Joe Biden look like a fool in the debates. Joe Biden can barely stand a questioning from just some dude off the streets. He's going to go up against Trump, who is actually a pretty good debater, is a guy who will punch you in the mouth. And I don't think Joe can handle that. I don't think Joe can handle a guy who is going to take it to him every single day. I just don't think he can do that. I think there's more enthusiasm behind Bernie Sanders, but that doesn't matter. The enthusiasm hasn't turned into votes. And, listen, when you look at Joe Biden, it's going to be a good night for him. He's probably most likely going to get the nomination. But I still favor Donald Trump in a head-to-head matchup against Joe Biden. But tonight looks to be a very good night for the former vice president, and we'll see what happens with the Democrats moving forward. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO.